Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Chris Dearborn, Managing Director on Nasdaq's Market Intelligence Desk, for an update to watch in the Nasdaq 100 as it relates to technicals here, as Apple unveils its virtual reality headset at WWDC. Chris, it's great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks. And really the news of the day has been what's taking place at Apple's annual WWDC.
Again, early strength to start the morning with the stock, making another new 52-week high today, pulling back a little bit here in the late afternoon. What's interesting about the index is that you have 11 members or constituents making new 52-week highs, and they're not all chips and they're not all in tech, which is kind of amazing. You're seeing names like Syntox, Dexcom, all making new 52-week highs here. Very strong across the board, and you're seeing that kind of perform in the index as well. It's interesting that the larger weighted stocks, including Alphabet, Meta, Microsoft, Netflix, and Apple, all make new 52 guys, which are definitely carrying the weight within the index. But again, it's not just sectorized into that one subsector. It's a little bit more broad-based for the large cap names across the board.
And if we take a look at your first chart here, give us some fresh technical levels to watch.
Right. So again, we made a new 52-week high on the index as well today at 14,662. That completes 6 weeks of gains for the index. We're trading about flat right now into the day. It's been a solid rally from Friday following the non-farm jobs report. What's interesting in the chart that once you've made that new high, we pulled back a little bit. So what we're looking here, the target, if this move is to be confirmed, again, with a very bullish narrative on light volume, it's a relatively quiet day. You're not going to see any Fed speak coming out. We're in the quiet period ahead of the next meeting here in June. The target here is 15,270. Support sits at 14,460, 14,315, and then 14,200, which was the top of the range we talked about right before Memorial Day. So resistance coming into it, though, you have to get through 14,600 on a closing basis. We don't have to close at the high we made today. That's intraday. But if we close above 14,600, the next level is 14,750 and then 15,270. Again, the target there. Major support below is at 13,660. That's a Fibonacci retracement level, 76.4% from the 52-week high made last October.
And if we take a look at the constituents leading the way here.
Right. So breadth is 55.45. Again, 11 new companies making 52-week highs today, adding to the breadth of myriad of news, whether it's analyst news, stock specific, or really nothing more than just strong technicals across the board. On the flip side, you're looking at NVIDIA pulling back a little bit, Intel pulling back a little bit. So what's interesting, and I didn't point out in the chart before, if you look at the relative strength index at the bottom of the first chart, you'll see that we've been in an overbought condition north of 70. And today is the 6th consecutive day. That means that we should be pulling back here at some point in the near future for a consolidation. Doesn't mean we're looking at a major pullback, but as long as you have companies on the breadth side, especially the heavyweights, making new highs, as you can see in the movers page, it's going to be difficult for this to really pull back that much further, barring a major setback, broad-based.
All right, Chris, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.